I'd like to call a special meeting of the Hinckley Township Board of Trustees order on Friday, September 27, 2024 at 3:05 p.m. for the purpose of a work session. I will call the roll. Asherle.
Here.
Engelmann.
Here.
Sweattick here. Okay. Ready to, okay. I will move to go into executive session to consider the appointment, employment, dismissal, discipline, promotion, demotion, or compensation of a public employee or official, or the investigation of charges or complaints against a public employee, official, licensee, or regulated individual at 3:05 p.m.
Second.
Second by Asherle. Call the roll. Asherle.
Yes.
Engelmann.
Yes.
Sweattick. Yes. We will move to come out of executive session at 4:41 p.m.
Second.
Second by Asherle. Call the roll. Asherle.
Yes.
Engelmann.
Yes.
Sweattick. Yes. And we are back in open session.
So I will schedule the interviews for our initial candidates for fire chief. If we're in agreement for Wednesday, October 2nd.
Works for me.
Okay. Very good.
I will reach out to them this evening and see when we can get those scheduled. We'll start for tentatively around 11:30. 11:30 in the morning.
That my calendar's open during the day up till 6 p.m.
Okay.
In other words, I have to be done by 6 p.m.
Got it. I'll start at 11 then, see who can start at 11 so we can schedule accordingly so that you get out of here on time. Thank you very much.
And I'm sorry, that was 11:30.
Well, tentatively, let's
Okay.
say like 11:30. I will reach out to the candidates and then send an email so that everybody's aware, including our panel of chiefs, are aware of what time we will schedule that. And then I'll have Suzanne schedule a special meeting.
Very well.
Okay. I did want to open up conversations. Well, open them again today because we actually talked about them in our last meeting, Cindy. Not sure if you had an opportunity to watch that yet, but the possibility of doing a township newsletter.
Mm-hmm.
It's come up to me many times in the last several years of people saying they wish that the township could send out some type of newsletter. I'm thinking like the state of the township type of thing.
Mm-hmm.
This is the example that Sharon Township had sent out.
Mm-hmm.
I'm not necessarily thinking anything as elaborate as this.
Mm-hmm.
I did get a quote from Angel Printing on it. And Jack supported that initiative at that meeting, but we wanted to discuss it with you to see if it's something that you would support.
And refresh my memory, how would we pay for the mailing of this?
We would use the funds that I don't want to say ARPA because it's not ARPA because we used ARPA funds for the roads, but
we just have some funds.
We have the funds available for that with that money that Martha had set aside.
So do you? I don't know how much detail. So I did not catch the first part of the meeting because I had a difficult time getting in there. So I didn't know like if you talked about layout or you said nothing as extensive as this. You're just envisioning something a little bit shorter.
What I am envisioning, I did reach out to Angel Printing and got the quote for something like this.
Okay.
That would be.
Oh, okay.
Like that. So it's essentially removing that insert, insert spot. So this would give us a front, inside 2 pages, and then a back, technically a back half a page. I actually really like their idea of the QR code. So this would be something that if someone wanted to say, I really like this, but I don't want it to be mailed to me, send it to me digitally.
Mhm.
So if we had a QR code, they could scan the QR code so that they could receive it digitally, and that would be a substantial savings for the
Mhm,
township
mhm.
that even if 400 people said, oh yeah, scans, then we're not sending it then to those 400
Right,
households.
right.
I did already speak to Lynn about
So
establishing a QR code.
you're saying you would end up creating a mailing list, so to speak, on email? Okay.
Correct.
right.
Okay.
Correct. So
I think it sounds like a nice idea.
if you are open to that,
Yeah, I mean, it's, mhm.
I have given you both a copy of, I just started jotting down some potential topics to discuss in this newsletter because I'm thinking, you know, kind of like a state of the township. You know, it's a way to send a communication out to our residents saying what we've accomplished this year and also things to look forward to next year so that it kind of follows that fiscal responsibility, letting, you know, we work for the residents. The funds that we use to pay for projects and things around the township is essentially their money. So letting them know what we have done with our funds, let them know what we've accomplished throughout the year.
That's a great
And
idea.
then also letting them know some projects for next year. You know, something that has always been challenging, I think, is people tend to want to get involved and upset with things when it's too late. It's a done deal. People are now talking about the roundabout which Hinckley had nothing to do with, right? But that's the state is going to do a roundabout at 606 in Ridge. That was discussed a couple of years ago. So if we're getting ahead of it and letting them know things that are going to be discussed and on the agendas and discussions for next year and years to come, I think that is proactive. And it's letting people know, hey, this is why you need to visit our website. This is why it's good to touch into meetings or email the trustees, is to stay ahead of things like this. So I think that this would be a really important piece to kind of get that started.
Well, I think it's a nice, I know, I don't want to rehash what you guys already talked about, but I think the idea of kind of consolidating in one simple, easy to read newsletter that talks about the things we've done and things that we're planning to do is a great piece of communication, because at the end of the day, you know, if you're not reading Trustees Corner or watching the Zoom, you know, you don't really know. And this would be a person coming to your home and would very briefly, you know, you can read and learn a lot. So I think that kind of format would be great.
Okay.
Yes.
If we are in, if we're all on the same page that we would like to move forward with this, can I ask that we go over some of the topics we would like discussed in this, and we can start brainstorming, like kind of some drafts that we can discuss at our meeting next week.
Okay.
You will see one of the things that I have listed on here, a topic is looking forward to next year, the comprehensive plan.
Yep.
That's something that we've been discussing for the last 12 months, that the comprehensive plan is up next year. That's something that is a priority to all of us that we need to update. The community has changed so much in the last 10 years since our last one was done, that I think it's great to maybe know that we're going to start off next year working on the comprehensive plan and letting people know we are going to want them to actively participate in it. So that's definitely a topic that I would like to have discussed, is the comprehensive plan.
I definitely want to be able to get a lot of people involved and engaged, so that, you know, and perhaps in different methods of engagement. So this would be a great communication. So I can kind of work up a little more on this.
Perfect.
Also. So absolutely.
Just so you are both aware also, I did already email Chief Sentner and Mike Beharry, and I said, hey, I want you guys to start thinking about some things that you might want to talk about from your department in this, should the board decide to move forward with it. So I told them, I said, just kind of start brainstorming and thinking of things that you would like to have, you know, maybe a 300 to 500 word article from your department in this newsletter. So if you're both good with that, I would email them this weekend and let them know we are going to move forward with it. So start thinking of some things and, you know, bring something to the meeting on Tuesday that we can discuss. I wanted to talk about some of the things that we've accomplished this year. The east wall of the old fire station, that was a huge accomplishment, something that's been discussed for the last several years, and we got that done. It looks beautiful. I think it would be nice to include an image of that and talk about the savings that the township will save by having that project now completed. Talking about the new electronic sign that, you know, we had to get a new sign because our old sign was not able to be fixed. It had to be replaced. Talking about, you know, the township Facebook page, because I think that shockingly, not that many people tune into our meetings. So probably a lot of them are not aware of the fact that we have that. So, hey, if you are looking for information more frequently, that's an option that you have if you are on social media. And just referencing all the ways that we have really tried to make sure communication is there from the Board of Trustees. I would like to talk about the single hauler trash. I know we have not put that survey out yet, but I think it's important to let everybody know in this survey or in this newsletter that we did send out the survey last year, and the overwhelming response was to remain single hauler. So let's kind of talk about that process a little bit in this newsletter and let them know more things to come on that, because we don't have the information to give them quite yet on the single hauler, which will begin at the beginning of February 2025. And then I had jotted down maybe discussing some of the community events that were brought back, movie nights, 4th of July parade that was new this year, the shred days that we're doing, just that sense of community. I think it's important that people know that we do have that small town events that people really like. Is there anything else that you could think of in terms of topics? And I don't mean to throw this on you. So if you guys want to think about it over the weekend and start.
Actually, I talked with Mike too, and I asked him to prepare a list of the road work projects that have been completed in the past year, that so folks know where their tax dollars were spent.
Very good. Okay.
I'll have to think about it. I'm behind.
Not to put you on the spot.
Yeah, like I'm behind you a week, right?
Okay. That was all I wanted to discuss with that. And do you both like that QR code idea of scan me to sign up to receive this electronically? Because I can have Lynn.
Yeah, I don't think it needs to be that whole
agreed. Agreed. Yeah, okay. It's right. Too much. And also it doesn't tell you anything on here also. So I think it's important, if we take the time to develop a QR code, that there needs to be a little something saying what it is and why you would want to do it. So, okay.
I would also say too that with it being the bicentennial next year, if we can get some information
from the bicentennial committee
on where folks can watch the progress of that and what it will be involved, so that we can put information on there on how to follow along, so to speak, where to get additional information, so that, because it's going to be a big deal.
Absolutely. Absolutely agree. Didn't know also, I know you were all copied on the email from the Metro Parks about their meeting that they're going to be having next week in Hinckley. Are you okay with Lynn sharing that to the website?
Yes, and I don't know, someone reached out.
Yeah, I did.
Okay.
Yeah, I reached out to the Metro Parks because we have our trustee meeting that night. And given that, the lake is in Hinckley and they're doing improvements and they have these plans, that it would be nice if they could share that, come to a trustee meeting to share that. So I have reached out tentatively. There's a date later in the month of October, but I'm still waiting on her to confirm that her two associates who will be presenting will be available, but I'm hoping maybe by Tuesday I'll have some more information on that.
So actually have them come out to the township.
Right. Well, the way I look at it is 2 years ago, whenever it was, they came out to the township requesting support when they were getting ready to apply for a grant for the construction of their dam.
Mhm.
And the trustees did a special meeting so they could do a presentation. So I think it would be nice to have them come back in and now talk about the other improvements they'd like to do. Given that the trustees have supported them in the past, and like I said.
Particularly because they're not recording the one they're doing at Red Wing,
Oh,
so
okay.
if they do it here, then
People can.
they'd be able
see
to
it.
access it.
I think that's
Good point, right?
that's a great suggestion. I don't know if I copied you guys on I responded to it asking, I said, that's unfortunately the same time and day as our trustee meeting.
Mhm.
Will it be recorded so that we can view it? And they said they didn't have the capabilities to record. So thank you for reaching out and seeing if they'd be able to come
well,
back.
I haven't heard back. I'm hoping, I check my emails yet this weekend, but if not, I'll just kind of shoot an email back and just kind of remind them, because I'd like to get this scheduled so
Yes.
that, we can get the special meeting scheduled
Yes.
as soon as possible. So
Very good.
So, yep.
Okay. That's all I have.
I have nothing for this evening.
I'm done for this
Okay.
evening.
And it's before 5 o'clock.
And that was
Before 5 o'clock on a Friday.
With that being said, I will move to adjourn at 4:57 PM.
Second.
Second by Asherle, all in favor.
Aye.
Aye.
Thank you, ladies.